Welcome to Story Ideas on the Fly, where we pick a random prompt out of a hat and try to develop it. Let's see what we've got today. Hey, our hat is full of other contributors' stuff today, so let's see what we've got. A princess gets kidnapped and decides to marry the knight who saves her. Her brother saves her and ruins her plans. Now he has to make up for it by finding her a husband.
Okay.
Okay, it's
I
like
like
the
this
dragon,
princess.
right?
Oh.
So this is
It's
the
a
classic.
princess
The
gets
princess
kidnapped.
gets kidnapped by the dragon, but the dragon's
Or
actually her best friend.
it doesn't say dragon. It could be by anyone.
Well, this is the classic is a
Classic
dragon.
is a dragon.
It could be pirates, it could be someone else.
But this is the classic. The princess gets kidnapped, but the dragon's actually her friend helping her get a husband type thing, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
we don't
be, or she could just get kidnapped and decide, hey, if I'm gonna get kidnapped, I might as well make a,
It doesn't have to be by the dragon if we want to go a little different. I kind of like princesses kidnapped by pirates.
You could
You
do
don't
that.
see that as often.
Actually, something I think sounds like it would be hilarious is if everyone in the family was actually taught how to fight incredibly well. So she could have easily escaped, but she just wanted someone to rescue her so she'd have an excuse to marry them. And then her brother was the only one who was actually able to beat.
How about this? The princess has a boy that she likes.
Okay.
And he is not noble. So she decides.
I thought it said knight.
Princess.
She decides to marry the knight who saves her. But
okay, he is a knight. Dang it.
A knight. But depending on the station of the knight's not necessarily eligible for the princess's hand.
Also, the princess, it could be that she's going to marry the knight who saves her because whoever saves her will be immediately knighted.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You know, so she's got someone that her status.
So she had someone in mind that was supposed to rescue her, and then her brother came in and rescued her and ruined all her plans.
Right, her brother didn't know.
All right, this sounds like fun.
All right, so.
Well, it seems like a plan that was specifically supposed to manipulate her family and, like, especially her parents. So it would make sense that she wouldn't tell her brother.
Right.
Yes.
So.
Okay.
All right, so we've got the.
I still really like the idea of having it so that everyone in the royal family is taught how to fight, and they're some of the best fighters in the kingdom.
Yeah, and so she
And so her brother comes in and beats them all, and he's going, "Why didn't you just beat them all up? You could have easily escaped."
Yeah, you could escape from this.
Or at
wanted
least when she
Edward to save me.
Or he comes.
Oh.
Or he figures it out as he's coming to rescue her, because she hears she's been kidnapped by pirates, and he comes in, and as he's coming and fighting the pirates, he's like, well, this is really bad security, and why don't they didn't tie her up very well, did they? And so he comes in, and once he saves her, he's like, why didn't you protect yourself? Why didn't you escape? This was so incompetent. Of course, you could have gotten out. And she's like, because I wanted to be rescued by this boy.
Edward. Well, we never like Edward. So we wanted to be rescued by Edward. And so, okay, so then he's got to talk about getting.
Actually, what if the pirates weren't actually in on it? She was just trying to utilize the opportunity. They were actually hired by a completely different group.
Okay.
But and instead of saving herself, what she did.
Don't feel as bad for them if you get,
She created the back door. She like, oh, let's just create an obvious weak point that Edward can exploit, but then no one else will see.
To rescue her.
And then her brother doesn't even realize that. He just comes in and beats them all up.
He just comes in and beats them all because,
Right.
This is child's play.
So she's
these guys are the worst security.
Perhaps she's done this. She hasn't intentionally gotten herself kidnapped. Wait, did it say she had to?
No.
It says okay.
Yeah. Just when she gets kidnapped.
Okay, so the princess, as she is when she gets kidnapped, which is not unrealistic thing for
many good princesses
to do. She's leaving some kind of trail that she is sure Edward will understand. Maybe it's beads to a necklace he gave her or something, and she's going, surely Edward will follow this, and I'll marry, my man who comes and gets me, and like I said,
and then the brother comes and
then
gets
the
her
brother
first.
just goes,
so
man, these guys did a terrible job hiding their footprints. Let's go.
So is Edward trying to rescue her, and the brother just gets there first?
I think probably.
I imagine he likes.
Well, there are two main routes you could go with this.
Mm-hmm.
One is you could have the whole thing be the brother having to help the princess and probably Edward get together, or you could have her be head over heels for Edward, but have Edward be rather incompetent, and then have her brother get her together with someone better. So it depends on which route you want to go.
This could be fun.
The better guy is actually a dragon.
Or
Probably.
she could think I'm leaving these things for Edward, and then Edward doesn't come after her. And so so he says, fix you up with somebody else.
She could have she could have had a crush on Edward, but he may not feel the same way. I don't know. There's lots of ways you could go with this.
I mean, it does say that he has to find her husband, and if she already knows exactly who she wants to marry, that's not so much finding her husband.
Okay,
so
she's
she gets
still
a stupid teenager and hasn't figured out what she wants. Got it.
Okay, so she gets kidnapped by pirates and says, "Hey, wait, this is the perfect opportunity."
Because the law of the land says I can marry whoever.
Yeah, if he rescues me, then this guy Edward's not high enough station to marry me as he is. But if he rescues me, that'll elevate his station.
Okay, Edward is the brother. Wait,
no, Edward's the guy.
Oh, okay, Edward's the boy. The other thing you could do though is have Edward be one of the high up knights, which is why she's sure he's going to come rescue her, and she's got this crush on him. But he doesn't care about her that way, and so he sends other people in because he doesn't want to marry the princess. So he sends other people in.
So he sends his lower level lackeys to go in and save her, and they fail. So then the prince comes in.
Or they don't necessarily have to fail, but the prince gets there first. In fact, one of these knights could really want to be the one rescuing her.
That would be cute.
And so then he's got So then, what does the brother do to find her husband?
Well, the first thing he'd have to do is figure out who'd actually fit with her.
Yeah.
So is Edward her true love, or I think we're leaning towards
Dragon.
Dragon.
I wouldn't be opposed to that, but I feel like some others here might be.
Dragons can polymorph. They can do that. It can work.
Well, that would be. So far, we haven't actually had any fantasy in here. I mean, this is definitely fiction, but we haven't had any mythical creatures yet. So, I mean, that's only if we want to include mythical creatures.
Yes, but you don't have to.
Okay, so what's he gonna do to get her a husband?
First, find a husband.
I think what he does is he looks over all. Because I imagine he's good friends with a lot of the knights. This is a royal family that takes self-responsibility very seriously because they do prioritize being able to protect oneself. So I imagine the prince would be fairly close with a lot of the knights. And so I imagine what he does is he starts talking to some of his friends in the knights and tries to figure out what she'd mesh well with and finds a guy, but then he's a squire to one of the knights. And she initially doesn't have any interest in him, but they would work perfectly together.
Well, and so then he kind of introduces them, and they do fall in love. But at that point, he's got to figure out how do I actually
elevate this guy to...
And so he's going to stage
another kidnapping or another.
What would be good is he's going to stage something, but I want a real villain in this. You know me, I don't just like the little.
Let's stage a disaster and have it go wrong.
Yes. He's going to start staging the disaster, and she's going to think it's all a setup, and it's not going to be. It's going to all go wrong. And the pirates or whoever our main villain, pirates or somebody from another kingdom, is going to come in, and I don't know we want to pull another kidnapping again.
Well, I think the pirates were initially hired by the big bad.
Okay.
And so he's going to come in and
do an actual kidnapping?
He could
or maybe not an actual, but he's going to do something.
So what should he do?
It doesn't even have to necessarily...
An assassination attempt, that would cause some problems, because assassination attempts are a lot easier than you'd think.
Yeah.
So he could... Okay, what could he do then? He could try to kidnap her and force her to marry him, so that he could then kill off the king and take over that kingdom.
Comes in on a dragon.
Hey,
You
Joe,
could do
you
that.
wanted your dragon, right? He
And
flies
she
about
marries that
dragon.
dragon.
No.
No, Mary.
All right.
I mean,
So what
not for
else
this
could
one.
he do?
No, she has a pet dragon.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let's go with. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's see. What do we do with
I
right.
think what the villain wants to do
Yeah.
is basically dismantle the royal family and not. Oh, here's what you do.
Well,
You
could the
have
villain be
him-
after revenge? We haven't had a good revenge
Yeah.
villain recently. Or
Have
for a while.
Yes, have him be like
Specifically out for vengeance against the kingdom?
Against the knights.
Who against the knights.
Which is why he is going to draw the knights out into a trap. Okay?
Ah.
He will probably kill quite a few of them. He'll capture some of them and then try to ransom them back to the kingdom. And this is why it's going to be left up to that little squire.
Nice. To
Because
save the day.
Yes.
So the squire being helped by the brother, and they have to go save the day
Now,
together.
if
Right.
your
The
That's
girls
brother
would be in the
is
group.
one of the protagonists, he can't. You don't want the brother to be the one who opens the door for the big baddie to go in and kill
No.
a bunch
No,
of
no, no.
knights.
What you do
No.
is you have
Okay.
the villain go ahead and do that on his own. So the brother's working on staging something, but before he can actually do
Okay.
it, the villain makes his move, and the
Okay.
princess initially thinks
Thinks
that
that
being
it's
staged
being
because her
staged.
brother's
And
been
she's
working on
like,
staging.
no. He's like, no, it's not. This is not staged. We have to do something.
Okay.
But the knights out in this battle
Mm-hmm.
that they've been drawn into.
Okay.
And so they're like, well, who's going to? Well, they got the battle here. The big bad is going to come
Yeah.
strike on his own. You know,
Okay.
It's subtlety. And so they're going to have to go and face him and
And
stop
face him
him.
and save the day.
Mhm.
Okay. I
Okay.
like this.
This
Yeah.
sounds good. So we've got a villain. We've got a love story. We've got a hero.
Does the brother get a girl?
Well, we definitely could do that. If I'm writing
It's a dragon.
No, I'm just recommending every love story involve a dragon.
Oh, you could do a good
I
love
think it
story with
works.
a dragon.
You
I thought it was
can, but you
fun.
don't just arbitrarily.
No. Juliana, she was fun.
Yes, she
Okay.
was.
She was fun, but she was a dragon first and had a love story second.
Right. All right.
Yes.
But she was fun.
Yeah,
All
she
right.
was.
So, what
And
I
do?
You could have it so that she just gets together with one of the. Never mind. I had an idea, but I forgot it. Go ahead. Your idea.
I
Could
didn't
the
have an
prince
idea.
have not a secretary because
they didn't have
that's not really
secretaries.
what they.
No.
But when he is, could he have some kind of lady knight or lady squire or just
Mhm.
a chatelaine in the castle, someone who does a lot of arranging and working things through? That when he first finds out, oh gosh, I've got to go find my sister a husband, he turns to his closest lady friend and says, "I know nothing about love. Tell me."
Oh, this could be fun.
That would be
I could
fun.
make some fun scenes with her trying to teach him who's right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
help teach him about compatibility. And yes, she could also be, throwing some cards on the table subtly.
She could use subtle hints like, let's use you and me for example, and let's check our compatibility.
Now, if you
Was
don't, now, if you don't want the issue to be then that he, because we already established the princess and the squire are having a rank issue.
Yo, no, I like
You
having
could have
her
it
be a
be-
high up knight, like she is
Well,
competent.
she doesn't have to be a knight. She can be
Yeah.
a high up lady of the house. And
Yeah.
they did have, I don't know what they call them.
Or a
but they-
duchess.
Yeah, she could be a duchess. She could
She
be
could be a
countess.
She could very
she could
easily be a
something. Yeah,
duchess.
A
Is
duchess
higher than
works.
countess.
yeah.
So,
But,
I like duchess.
so
If
anyway,
I were
And
writing
a
her, I'd
prince
make her a
would
knight.
have, and a
I
prince
think
would
that's cool.
have
Oh,
a
yeah.
would be friends with a lot of the
yeah,
nobility.
she could
in
be
the
a lady
court,
of the
so,
court.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
So all
it'd be
right,
very easy to give him a lady friend of the court where he just goes, "Help me,"
okay. So
which
I
is
think,
funny
I
because she
think
doesn't have a boyfriend either. So I don't know why he thought she knew more
Well,
about
probably
love than anyone
because
else.
She's
a
a
woman. Let me put it this way. If a guy is wondering about relationships, any woman is better than Evan.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put it this guy.
Exception. Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay, if you took the
This would be
world's
very cute.
best guy when it comes to relationships and the
very
average woman,
cute.
yes, he'd be better.
Mhm.
And if you took the world's strongest woman versus an average man, she'd probably beat him too. But
I
in
get
general,
it, I get it. But no, this could be very cute. Yes, she could have a lot of fun throwing him some subtle hints that
All right.
she likes.
So I like this. I think we've got a good villain. We've got a good
Lots of
hero.
romance.
Yes, we got lots of romances and even a dragon. And
Well,
great.
what pirates? I don't know.
Good
We never actually brought in the dragon officially, but that's okay.
you can throw in a dragon anywhere in here if you wanted
Okay,
to.
We do want to throw in dragons.
Oh, I was referring.
The knights ride dragons.
But what
Oh.
about dragons?
Dragons have feelings too, people.
All right.
Forget the dragons.
All right.
Okay, so
Well,
write this one.
Yeah.
Not too bad with love
I
stories.
can't see relationships,
Oh, well,
but I
okay,
would
this
have fun if I did
yours.
write it.
This would be ours.
It would be.
Right.
This has to be written by a girl who understands relationships. Like I said, girls are better at this stuff, you guys.
Are there any things you want to see in this story? Leave us comments and let us know what you would.
And don't forget, we are loving getting comments, prompts for our hat. We'll see you next time.
Where do you think the dragon should go in this story? Put that in the comments as well.